Good day. Today just gonna bring you along for a couple hours of forging. What I'm doing today is I'm making a barbecue fork. Just gonna show you there. Unfortunately, I did the two-sided taper on the wrong side. I'm planning on doing a leaf on the end there. Here I'm trying to correct that mistake. And right now I'm flattening out the leaf. It's just the technique using the peen there. So you flatten out the leaf and use the peen to draw out the sides. This is a hammer I used. It's an angled peen hammer, so that when I hammer it, I don't need to have it perpendicular to the work. I can have the work at an angle, and if I have the hammer at the correct angle, then it'll work fine. I've already got the texturing done for the leaves. Now I'm just putting a vein in. Using a lighter hammer. Trying to give it a little shape. But there you go, there's the leaf. And here what I'm doing is I'm starting the curve of the handle, making sure that the leaf is up for the curve, because otherwise the leaf will be pressed into the rest of the metal rather than facing outward like I need it to be. Closing up the eye, and dress it up a bit, and put in the vise to twist. Here we are. I'm using a piece of metal to. So I'm going to stick in the eye to twist it. Oh, nope, you're not going to see my face. No, you aren't. I was having a bit of trouble getting it to clamp onto the work properly. There we go, finally got it. And the piece doesn't work. There we go. Got a little bit of a screwdriver I broke. Twist it round. I just guessed with the twisting. I ended up twisting it counterclockwise, which worked pretty well. Fit well in the hand. So here I'm just going to dress it up. Could spend a long time just fiddling with it. I ended up fiddling with it for quite a while. Yes, like I said, fiddling around with it for quite a while. Spend hours just trying to get it as well as you want and not going anywhere. There we go. It's all to my satisfaction. Straight enough for me, at least. Gonna stick it in the vise. Mess with the eye a little bit, try to get it straight. Well, shaped to what I want it to be. There we go, get the hammer. I don't really want to give it any real hard whacks because don't want to deform the eye or give it nasty marks. And here I turned it around, cooled off the handle, and now I'm working on the fork end. Just putting a small taper on the end. Oh yes, I noticed that there was some slight curves to it. Try and take those out. I'm using a 4-pound rounding hammer that I had made out of another small sledge. I heated up the one end and rounded it over using bottom of a oxygen cylinder. Went at it with a bit of grinding and then hardened it back up. Works real well. So there we go. Started flattening it, and I'm just going to widen it. It's all widened. Time to split for the tines. First time around with the hot cut, just marking it. Don't want to hit too hard because we don't want the punch to bounce around and mark up anywhere other than where we want it to be. There we go, nice line. I don't know what happened to the audio with this one, but it is what it is. And if you're wondering about holding the piece between my legs, it's a bit awkward to see, but when you need a third hand, you gotta use what you have. I'm using a plate underneath to protect the face of the anvil because we don't want to damage it with the punch or the hot cut. And now that I've said that, I'm just using the face instead of the plate. Ah well, soft steel anyways. Just trying to separate those tines a bit. See what we have. There we go. There's a bit of a crack. Now, taking it to the vise. Going to see if we can't split it open the rest of the ways vertically. Got the cut. And it's sliding down the vise. And bending. There we go, got it all split. Now it's time to separate the tines from each other so we can draw them out. I'm in a bit of trouble since there are two pieces. The other one can't be worked at the same time. I'm just going to fast forward through all this so that you don't have to watch this tedious work. Basically, I'm just drawing it out square, then making it octagonal. And then as you can see here, I was bringing it around and around until it was round. Once I was satisfied with it, both of them were done. And we're forming them over the horn of the anvil. Cleaned up the transition in between on the vise so that was smoother in there and not quite such of a sharp V. Fiddling about, always fiddling. But there it is. It's all nearly finished. All I have to do now is put some curves in it. Just gonna bend the fork. Gotta make sure that the leaf part that's gonna be on top of the handle is on the bottom. So this is good. The fork is actually gonna curl up a bit when you're holding it properly, and the rest of the handle is gonna curve down. A bit too much of a curve there. I'm gonna try to take that out. Put it on top of the anvil. Nice flat area. There we go. Well, looks like the tines got a bit messed up there. Nothing little fiddling won't fix. Gonna put a little bit of a curve in the tines themselves, just so that if it is used for some meat, the stuff won't just fall off. There we go. Now there it is, cleaned up, all brushed off and waxed once it was still hot. The wax protects it, keeps it from rusting as quickly. If it's hot, then the wax will get into all the pores, all the little divots. There they are, the sharp tines. They'll stick into some stakes real nicely. There's the handle, fits the hand. There's the leaf. I suppose I could have curled the leaf around a little bit, made it a little more natural. There it is. Now, this is another project we're working on here. Is gonna make a I'm not sure what it's called, like a dome fuller. So what I'm doing right here is I am making a hexagonal shape at the area where the hammer is gonna hit. Actually, just gonna upset that back a bit. Will make it a little easier to know which side is which if you got a hexagonal shape. Just rounding it off a little bit so that the hammer won't make any mushrooming as easily. There we go. Now we're going to cut it off. This is a cut-off tool that I was given. It doesn't quite fit my hardy hole, but I'll fix that at another time. There it is, cut through nearly all the way, twisted off, comes right off. Just gonna straighten that, quench it in the water, put it down. Time to put this piece into the fire. And we're going to put it in the right way, the area that it's actually going to be worked. Now, the reason I cut it off and I'm working the cut off end is because when you cut it, it creates an angle to the middle all around. So if you cut it in a round motion, as I did, then you'll leave this little point. And you can make center punches with that technique. And what I'm hoping to do here is do a similar idea and use that point as the start of the round side where it will be working the metal. This is for creating the little sticky out bit on bottle openers, and also for special shaping of animal heads. The round point will make a better... It's smaller than a ball peen, so it's useful for that. I switched over to a smaller hammer here. Quicker, lighter taps, trying to get out as many of the heavy divots as I can, going at different angles. Looks pretty good. Straighten it up. Gonna put it in the vise there and go at it with the file. There it is after filing. Got a nice round point. And it's getting dark out. It's already 5 o'clock. Can't work too much later than this. Can't see, and then I have to bend over my work on the anvil and my back starts hurting. As you can already tell by the video quality, it's been getting darker and darker. Can't see it there, but I've got another piece in there. Give it another heat. There we go. Thanks for watching.